Hello my spooky children, it's me Ghost Girl and I'm here with you guys for another video. So in today's video I'm going to be talking about my vlog trip to Paris, and also I'm going to be addressing a few things. So first of all I'm going to start addressing one of my previous vlogs. So my latest vlog, the disastrous journey, the reason that was such a disaster was, if you're not from Britain then you probably don't know, but all across Britain all the trains have gone on strike. Thankfully it isn't a complete halt on the trains, but it's pretty bad. You cannot really get much trains. When I went to Falkirk that day to get my nephew a present, there was hardly any transport. I couldn't get a train, I had to get a bus, and as soon as I got his present I kind of had to go and get the train home kind of thing, because the next 3 trains after that were cancelled, and I basically would have been stranded unless I got the bus, but I don't think the buses are that frequent, so I might have been stranded. So I'm going to start talking about Paris now. I really enjoyed my trip to Paris. So on our first day we didn't really do much. It took us like a whole day to get there because my friend kept getting us lost in the subway, and then he had a cheat to say that I was asleep. I thought, well, maybe if you actually got us to where we needed to go and didn't keep getting us lost and didn't keep behaving like a child, I wouldn't get in such a state. Like, I enjoyed my holiday to Paris, but I wouldn't go with him again. Like, I'd go to Paris again, but I wouldn't go like with him because he's just like extremely immature. Like, I didn't realise how actually immature he was. Like, he does stuff like he'll start singing like in the middle of the street because he's completely deluded. Like, he's got this deluded mindset that he's this amazing, fabulous, fantastic singer when actually he can't even sing a note, and he wants to do like busking and stuff. And he made an album with a producer, right? But it's like he doesn't have like a record deal or anything. It's like a self-published like album. And the producer told him that he should be writing songs but no singing them, because his vocals are terrible. And I'm sorry, but I kind of agree with the producer, I'm just going to be honest. And now he's working with this new producer because that old producer was apparently terrible. I think to myself, like, the guy works in the music industry, so surely to God he knows what he's talking about. And the new producer's saying that he's amazing or whatever, but the funny thing is this new producer's actually his pal. So I think his pal's just saying that to stop his feelings being hurt. But my friend, who does this really annoying and embarrassing thing where he'll just start singing like in the middle of the street, and it's actually so embarrassing. I've told him to stop and I've told him that I don't like it, but he doesn't care. Like, he's quite ignorant and selfish in that way. And a few of my videos I've had to like mute the volume because his singing is so bad, and I do not want you guys to be deafened with his terrible, terrible singing voice. So anyway, on the second day we went to Disneyland Paris, and that was like the best day that we were there. So we went to the Frontierland, and on there you've got like the Haunted Mansion and the Thunder Mountain, and then we went to like Adventureland, which is like kind of Arabic / jungle / tropical themed, and there you've got like the Discovery Island, where it's like all pirates themed. We went there thinking it was a ride, and it wasn't, and we ended up going there and getting lost on the island and then we were able to find our way back. And then we got on the kind of like Pirates of the Caribbean ride. That was my favourite because you actually felt like you were in like a tropical paradise at night. It was like really well set up, and but when we were going to like the ride, it was like miles and miles of walking just to get on it. Like we actually thought it was like a walkway and not an actual ride, and because we were walking that long, and it had on it like a 45-minute wait on the ride, but it was actually more of a 45-minute walk to the ride, if I'm being honest. We didn't wait at all, we were just walking. Mental. So we also went on the Indiana Jones ride, and I didn't like that ride. It was awfully bumpy and aggressive and hashy-bashy. I wouldn't go on that ride again. Then we went to the Magic Kingdom, where all the like kiddie rides are, and Gary made us wait 45 minutes in a line to bloody Pinocchio. I'm sorry, but no kids ride is worth a 45-minute wait. I suppose it's different if you've got kids or if you are a kid, but for two folk in their 20s, 45 minutes is not worth the wait in a kid's ride. I actually thought I was going to explode when we got off that ride. I was like, Gary, I can't believe you made me go on that ride. That was so not worth it. And then he wanted to go on Snow White, and I was just like, well, away you go, I'll just wait here. He's like, you sure? I was like, yeah, I'm not waiting another 45 minutes on a kid's ride. That's not going to be worth it. So he went on that, and then he wanted to go on this bloody Alice in Wonderland maze, and it'd be different if it was an actual ride, but it wasn't. It was a maze, and I don't really like mazes in that. It's been a fear since I was a young child. When I was little, when I was still speaking to my dad, he took us to this like maze in Cornwall, and it was like a corn maze, and it was miles long, and he like left me like in a maze on my own, and I was running around and I couldn't find the exit maze, and I had a panic attack. I was only about 11 or 10 when this happened, and well, a member of staff had to actually come and find me and get me out of this maze because I was like freaking out so much, and I was like missing for so long, and then like my dad basically made a fool of me and called me like a baby and stuff, and then they went away and were like taking photos and acting all happy dappy, and then my dad was just like making me out to be like this baby that he just like totally like made a fool of me like the whole day after that. And I think that's kind of why I don't like mazes and stuff. So when he wanted to go in the maze, I was like, no way, I'm not going, on you go. And I kind of just left him to his stupid maze. Thankfully wasn't in there long because it started raining and I had to go like and hide under a shelter. But after that he kept wanting to go in Peter Pan, and I wasn't waiting 70 minutes to Peter Pan, and every time we kept going to it, it was like kept going up and up and up, and eventually it went up to like 85 minutes. And I was like, I'm not waiting 85 minutes for a kid's ride, no thanks. And then we ended up going to like the mad futuristic space, but I can't remember what that was called. But we went on a Space Mountain, that was really fast. I don't know, I don't think I liked that, it was a bit much. I've noticed everything is like all Star Wars themed now, but when you Google Space Mountain, it's like all like astronaut themes, and I feel like that would have been better than the mad Star Wars shooting things. I mean, don't get me wrong, I am a big Star Wars fan, but I feel like the ride wasn't that great. It's a bit overrated, Space Mountain. We also went on this like Star Wars themed simulator, that was good. The walk to the ride was good. It was like all robots like R2-D2 and C3PO and that, and the wee droids, all of them were funny. The wee Star Wars droids. So that was the second day. On the first day we went to the Louvre where the Mona Lisa and stuff is. The Louvre is absolutely massive. Like, we were there the whole day and we only explored like half of the Louvre. But my mum wanted a photo of the Mona Lisa and the carry-on just to get like a photo. There were people literally lining up in a queue to take a photo, and I'm like, I'm not lining up in a queue to take a photo. So I ended up like taking one from a distance and like zooming in. Like, I do have the Mona Lisa like on film in my previous vlog. There's a huge ancient Egyptian section in the Louvre. If you're a fan of Kemet, then that section number 2 is really big. It's got hundreds and hundreds of stuff from like ancient Egypt. Like, honestly, when they found all this stuff, like what a find this must have been. Like, Jesus. The fourth day we went to, you'll see that in the vlog, we went to the Eiffel Tower. Gary is really stingy and didn't want to pay the money to go up the tower, so we never got to go up the tower, which I was quite annoyed about. We went to Notre Dame. We couldn't get into Notre Dame because it was under construction. A lot of the places actually that we went to were under construction. Apparently there was like a big fire in Paris and that's why everything is like under construction now. We also went to the Moulin Rouge. We never got to see the show because, again, Gary being stingy. He's so naive though, like he didn't bother to do like any research like before we came, so he wanted to go into a sauna right in red light district in Paris, and I'm just like, do you even know what that is? Like, I'm sorry, but you see a sauna in the red light district, everyone knows that's like cold for awful. I think to myself, how did you not know that? You were so naive. And like, he is very immature, he behaves like a toddler. Like, when we were doing the sightseeing on our final day, like, he kept running away and hiding from me like a toddler, and he would start all these arguments by saying that I was being patronising and stuff, when actually he was the one that was behaving like a child. Like, he kept getting us lost, and whenever I needed help with anything, like, he basically like refused to help, and I was like, no, you're being selfish because I've asked you to stop singing and hiding and running away like a toddler, and help me try and figure out where this place is. And I've told you like many times to stop, but you just don't stop. It's like so selfish and ignorant and immature, it's unreal. And trying to find somewhere to eat online because he literally only eats like burgers and chips. So it was like plenty of places for me to eat because I eat most things, but he literally only eats burgers and chips, so it was like so hard to like find somewhere. And plus he's like really stingy as well. Like, he'd be like that, oh, £13 for a salad. I was like, £13 for a salad is about average on a meal out. So we had to eat at like all these horrible minging places because like he wouldn't spend the money on like a decent meal. And it was so annoying. His stinginess was like torture because he wouldn't pay like the £3 for the selector sheet options. So we ended on both flights, we ended up sitting away from each other, and I had to sit next to this couple, and it was bloody hell because I've just split up with my ex, and there'll be no like lovely dovely cuddly, and I ended up going in antidepressant on that flight. I was ready to like burst into tears, and also it was a nightmare in the morning. Like, he's so lazy, like he never gets up. I was like having to like wake him up in the morning just so that we could go to places, and then I'd tell him to wake up and he just wouldn't wake up. And I had to actually, one day I had to actually get the key off the chambermaid to let me into the room to wake him up because he just wouldn't wake up. Like, I'd go get ready, go down for breakfast, come back, and he'd still be in his bed sleeping. It was torture that way. And he just never offered to help with my bags and stuff. I was carrying like a suitcase and 2 big heavy bags, and he like never offered to help. When we were in the subway, we had to travel like miles in the subway because he kept getting us lost. And I wouldn't recommend Paris for anyone that has mobility issues or is in a wheelchair, because when we were there I didn't see any lifts, and most of the time when you're in a shop somewhere the escalators don't work, so you're having to walk up these steep escalators. So if you've got like mobility issues, I would not recommend Paris because it is not wheelchair or mobility friendly. Yeah, I was loving his big heavy bag and he never offered to help me. He just stared at me and watched me struggling up these stairs, and I had to get like strangers to like help me with my bags, and it wasn't until I started shouting at him that he began to help. And when we were going home, he was absolutely useless. I asked the receptionist to phone us a taxi, and the guy was too busy, so I just left it and phoned a taxi myself, and I couldn't get a taxi, and Gary wasn't wanting to spend the money on a taxi to the airport shuttle bus, but where you get the shuttle bus for the city to the airport. He wasn't wanting to pay the money, he was wanting to save money and get the underground, and I didn't want to get the underground after the craziness that we got when we were on the way, because carrying all the bags in the underground, I'd like hurt my back and both my arms and both my shoulders. I was like, no Gary, I'm not going through that again. And I was trying to phone a taxi and he literally did like nothing like to help, and I was ready to kill him. And then I was like, why are you not helping me with the taxi? He's like, yeah I am. And I said, no you're not, you're sitting on Instagram, I can see you on your phone sitting on Instagram. And luckily the receptionist was able to get us a taxi once they finished with all the folk that were queuing to check out, and we were able to get a taxi there, and I made him pay for the taxi. And he drinks this like Monster energy juice, and he like left his can in the taxi, and I felt so embarrassed when the taxi driver was like, remember your can of Monster. And I ended up having to give the guy a big tip, and I said to him, you're lucky I gave that guy a big tip, otherwise that wouldn't have went down well. He's so ignorant and he's an absolute idiot. And when we were queuing to get onto the airport shuttle bus, he spilt his juice all down my bag, and I was absolutely raging. I'm like, he's so useless, it's unreal. And managed to get to the airport okay, but it didn't help that our flight was like 5 hours delayed, and he was actually doing nothing to help. Like, he is the worst person to get stranded with, like, honest to God. Like, he just kept singing, and then when I was trying to find a seat to eat like my dinner because the flight had been delayed so much, he went and found a seat for himself and never bothered to look for a place where the two of us could sit, and I had to like eat my dinner like on the floor, and he never even bothered to like offer a seat so that I could eat my dinner on a chair at least. And his phone ran out of battery, and I was ready to kill him because our boarding passes were on his phone because he'd booked the flight, and he was like refusing to charge his phone, and instead of like going and charging his phone, he was like sitting playing the Crushing on his phone, and he wouldn't charge it, and I was ready to kill him. By the end of this holiday I was actually ready to murder him. And he never brought any cash with him on holiday either. And I think to myself, who doesn't bring cash with them on holiday? So I kept having to like fork him out of money in the subway, and then on the way back, like his hand luggage was like too big, so he had to buy priority, so I had to fork him out for that. So now he owes me like €20, and I'm just so angry. And yeah, he was just a nightmare the whole entire holiday. Like, I'd never go on holiday with him ever again. If it was just like 2 or 3 of those following things, like for example, say maybe he was a bit stingy, a fussy eater and kept getting us lost, like I'd put up with that if it wasn't for the immaturity, the singing, the lack of help, the ignorance, and like the selfishness. But a combination of all those things, it was just too much. When we were in Paris, I actually seen like a mother like shouting at her child because her child was like running away and being immature, and I could actually empathise with that mother because of how immature he was being. And this kid was about 3 as well, which makes the situation so much worse. And yeah, I've decided that I actually don't want to be friends with this person anymore because they're not my real friend. I don't think they were my real friend, otherwise they wouldn't have behaved and act so selfishly while we were on holiday. Like, as soon as I get like my €20 of him, I'm not speaking to him ever again. Like, that's me and him are like totally finished. But anyway, I hope you have all enjoyed this video, as doing gloomy some of it was. I did enjoy my holiday even though all that stuff was like in it. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, then please like this video, comment down below, subscribe, click on the notification bell so that you'll be notified when my next video comes out. Also, I am on social media, so if you could follow me on Twitter and become one of my patrons, I would be very grateful for that. Also, I am a psychic medium. I do readings, so if you're interested in getting a reading, then please email me. My email is linked in the description down below. That is everything for today, my spooky children. I hope you have enjoyed this video today, and goodbye.